In the last lecture, we optimized your meta descriptions, and in this lecture, we're moving on to point number 15. You can see we're really flying through them pretty quickly now. And what we're going to do in this lecture is really optimize any images in your blog post for these search results. You can see here that I've included an image at the top of my blog post. I think it looks professional, helps it have that visual impact right from the start. I've left out images in the checklist on purpose because I just want people focusing on the points, but I would recommend that throughout your blog post, particularly if it's quite a long one, that you have images really breaking up the materials to make it more visually appealing. And what I would recommend you use in order to make your images is this tool called canva.com. It's free to use. It's an alternative to maybe using stock photos. You can actually create designs and presentations here, and you can see that I've created this one here. So potentially what you can do is come in here, click on create a design. You can come down here, they have the dimensions for a blog title or a blog image here. The great thing about this tool as well is that they have lots of templates that you can just use straight away, and they show up in the sidebar here. So you can really just copy and paste these in. A lot of these are free here, you can see it, and some of the other ones they have, if you see the X on the back here, that means that you will have to pay maybe $1 every time you want to use that image. But there's really a lot of great examples you can use. You can see that you don't have to use maybe that image, you can just use the background. You could maybe drag that in, you can add text in here very easily. You can add different elements and shapes in here as well. So you can very, very quickly add in an image. They even have icons you can use. All around, it's just an absolutely great tool to use. Very easy to resize. Essentially, it's like a much easier version of something like Photoshop. That is how you can create these images. Once you've got your designs done, what you'll want to do is actually download them. Now you'll see here that when you go to download them, you have a couple of options. I would pick the JPEG option here because you want to have a small image size in terms of its quality so that it's not going to slow down your web page too much. And you can see that it's very easy to download them here, and essentially it's going to just download into your download section here. What I would recommend is that when you download them, what you might see is that the title says untitled design. What I would really recommend that you do is rename that with your keywords. So if you've got a design, here we go. First thing that I wanted to do is maybe rename it from my keywords. So I'm just going to imagine I created this, and I'm going to just call it SEO checklist. Now this is the same process that I did with the one that I'm actually using. Then once you have the image that you want, that you've created in WordPress, you can add media here, you can upload the files, you can just drag and drop the file in there. And then you were going to see that you have an option here to add in some other pieces of information, and this is the really important part here, the alt text. This is really what Google will look at to see what your image is about. And I'm going to type this in SEO checklist here, and then I could just insert this into my post, and you can resize it to whatever size that you want. And that's the process. It's very, very simple. You can create these images yourself in Canva, or you can just buy stock photos. And the important thing is to name the file with the keyword in it, and then add the alt text in as well. So that was really it. It's very simple. Just include your target keyword in the file name and in that alt text. For something like SEO checklist, I don't think too many people will be checking the Google image search results for that. But for any other images that might be relevant, and all your blog posts, is just really best practice to follow these steps. So that was very quick. I recommend you add those images to visually break up your content. I'm going to wrap it up there, and I'll see you in the next lecture. We're really going to cover a lot of these points and talk about how to actually write the copy and the words on the page for your blog post.